Well, hello, people. I hope you're doing good. I apologise for the lack of uploads recently. I have had a lot of university work to do, and it's still not done, but I can at least balance it out with videos now, I think. I'd also like to apologise for no green screen for this video. It's currently nearly 20 past 9 at night, and the lighting is not great outside, and it just looks really grainy at the back, and it really annoys me. I'd also like to apologise for supporting the Nazi regime. But today we are reviewing Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2, and the finale. I've already reviewed Volume 1, and if you want to know my thoughts on it, I'll leave a link to the video down in the description. But in a nutshell, I thought that first half of the season was fine. I thought it had its moments, but when it hit a low, it really hit a new low. But the fourth episode did leave me with some hope, and it left on a pretty decent cliffhanger, and I was really intrigued to see what they do in the final episodes. So was Stranger Things 5 an overall success? Is this a great ending to the series? For me, this season really hit when it wasn't trying to follow the narrative. One of the strong things about Stranger Things, even in the bad seasons, is that the character interactions and the conversations that they have always been really engaging and emotional because you really like these characters. They feel real, they feel authentic, and I just like those moments where they open up to each other. In fact, my favourite episode of this season was easily episode 6 because it's basically just characters opening up to each other, and I really like that scene with Nancy and Jonathan opening up to each other, realising their mistakes, why they've been so distant recently. And then you have that little moment with Dustin and Steve, where Dustin doesn't want Steve to go on this rickety ladder because it reminds him of Eddie and he doesn't want to lose someone else. Those moments really work for me. It's just a real shame that they put all of their effort into those small moments and not the overall plot, because the plot of this season was so all over the place. Most of the things that happen to the Upside Down and with Vecna is just so convoluted, and it doesn't make any sense now. There are so many plot holes, so many inconsistencies, that it's kind of ruined a lot what came before this season. And you would think that the Duffer Brothers thought about all of these things and knew the answers to some of these plot holes. Maybe when fans ask them questions about things that didn't really make sense, they'd know the answer to them. Well, no. People have asked them so many questions about the finale and the overall season, and they just basically went, oh, no, I don't know. For example, and this is going to get into spoilers now, so 3, 2, 1, skip this time code if you don't want spoilers. Here we go. So there's a big dilemma throughout this season. Will now has 11 powers and is connected to the hive mind. Whatever happens to Vecna happens to Will. And it's a really big dilemma. And there are so many scenes in this series where people say, how are we going to get out of this situation? And even I was wondering that. And I was very intrigued to see how they get around it. Well, the answer to that question is that they don't get around it. What they do, through plot holes. Vecna is killed by decapitation by Joyce, and you'd think that Will's head would come clean off. Well, no, he's fine. And then he lives his life happily. That makes 0 sense. Another question that I have. Where are the Demogorgons in the final battle? It's established in Season 4 that the Demogorgons come from this other place. And yet when we get to the final battle on this other place, they're nowhere to be seen. So what's that all about? And it's just so clear that the Duffer Brothers just really wiped their arse with storytelling, and they just wanted to create more seasons just to get more money. And it's just really, really sad, man. You had the chance to end this series with one last hurrah, fix all the issues with the previous seasons with some really compelling answers, and everyone will go home happy and say it was a lovely ride, I enjoyed this season, what a way to end this series. But no. You created more questions, and I tell you the reason why. Because you didn't put all your focus on the main storyline. Instead, just like you've done with the previous seasons, you added way more crap. There is so much filler in this season. Just like season 4, that had so much filler in it as well. And it just bogs down the overall impact of the story. For example, Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor herself, is in this series. When she was announced, I was interested to see her. And she is completely wasted. Why did you get her? It's just like they got her because she was from Terminator. And it's just the biggest eye winking at you saying, yeah, look, we've got Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor herself, you remember her from the Terminator movies? And her character and storyline leads into the missing sister plotline, which everyone hates from season 2. But I had a little bit of hope thinking, you know what? Maybe they brought her back for a reason. Well, you think they do for like one episode, and then nothing happens. Spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1, she dies, and that's it. That's literally it. There is no reason to bring her back whatsoever. And it's just so frustrating because the Duffer Brothers added all this crap where what they could have been doing is using that extra runtime to answer all the questions and the plot holes that we leave on. But they're just so addicted to adding new characters for some reason. I don't get it. Why do we need all this? However, despite my moaning, I didn't hate everything about this show. There were parts and there were certain storylines and characters that I really liked throughout this season. Once again, everything with Max is really strong. She's always been my favourite character in this series. And I really liked her and Holly's dynamic and their plotline trying to get back to the real world. And even though the actor who plays Holly is clearly not 9 to 10 years old whatsoever, I really did like her performance as the character, and I really liked Holly's character arc as well, trying to overcome fear and the way that she does it. I just really liked her character. She was easily one of the bright spots of this season. And also Mike, who has always been the main character in this show, but the Duffer Brothers don't think that. He was the main character in season 1, and through seasons 2, 3 and 4, he's just basically been put to the sidelines. But he gets a few moments to shine in this season, which I was really happy with. And I really like that the season ended with him. And major spoilers now. 3, 2, 1. Eleven's death. I thought her death made a lot of sense. I really did like her ending. And I like that there's a little bit of ambiguity to it at the end. That's the one instance where I didn't mind them killing off a main character properly. In fact, I liked all of the characters' conclusions in this series. I liked the ending scene. I really enjoyed that. And I like where all the characters go after this mayhem. It made a lot of sense for them. You feel really happy for them. And even though a lot of these characters have been severely wasted, it is nice to see that they all get happy endings. And to be honest, after all the crap that we've been through, I at least asked for that, and I got that. So I was happy by the end. So in conclusion, Stranger Things Season 5 ends off the series with a mixed bag. It does have its moments. I do like a lot of the plot lines, especially the one with Max and Holly. I think overall the show looks pretty decent. I do think the visuals have took a step down now, unfortunately. And even though it's clear that some of the actors have checked out now, I do think they get it their all in some sense. So I think all the acting was very solid. So is Season 5 the worst season of Stranger Things? No, I think it's better than Season 4, but not as good as Season 3. So it was a decent enough end to the series. We could put this behind us now. No more installment. And I can at least be happy that everyone got a nice conclusion. So Stranger Things Season 5 is going to receive a 5.5 out of 10. So if I had to rank all of the seasons from worst to best, I'll go Season 4, Season 5, Season 3, Season 2, and of course, Season 1. And there we go, people. That is the end of my review for Stranger Things Season 5. It's been a rocky journey with this series. We started off with an amazing season, perfect 10 out of 10 season, and then we gradually went downhill. It's very unfortunate. Money talks, unfortunately. But as I said, I can at least say we ended off with a decent finale. And that is the end of this video, guys. If you have seen the final season of Stranger Things, or Stranger Things as a whole, do let me know your thoughts on it. Do you like it? Do you not? Let me know. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day, and see you later.